take a look at the legal ramifications of these developments at the military academies. We're joined by defense attorney Mickey Williams, partner at Capovilla and Williams. Mickey, thank you for your service and thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Overall, can you briefly explain the details of this report?
Yes, and Alex, thank you for having me this morning. Basically, just like you heard the correspondent say, the Pentagon's been tracking these numbers for years. And what they do is they basically just track how many times sexual assault is actually reported throughout the academic year. And what they found was, in the last year, there were 161 reports, right? And that was an increase from the year prior. However, we got to remember that the year prior, we had COVID. So even though they said there was a 50% increase, really that's not a fair representation because of COVID. If you really look at it from the year prior to that, it's only about a 7% increase, which isn't good, right? It's not good, but it's not as drastic as most people might think at first.
Got it. So could the uptick in reported cases be a result of more victims being more comfortable with reporting, or what do you think is driving that up by 7%, like you just mentioned, from 2 years ago?
Yes, well, I think it could indicate that, right? It's hard to say because, again, these are just reports that have been made. So I like to think that people are more comfortable making it, but it could also indicate that there are actually more sexual assaults. We really don't know. I would like to hope, right, and I think the military is doing everything they can to make sure that victims feel comfortable coming forward about allegations like this.
Right. So President Biden recently signed an executive order making sexual harassment an offense in military judicial code. So what message does that order send then to the military?
Well, what I think it sends is that they are taking this very seriously. And what's interesting about it is that sexual harassment, although it never was codified in the UCMJ, it could still be prosecuted. But a lot of people didn't know that. So I think what this really does is it puts out there for everyone to know, hey, the military is taking this extremely seriously, so serious, in fact, that we're going to prosecute it under the UCMJ if necessary.
So for people, maybe on the outside looking in, these types of situations, sexual assaults and harassment, it seems almost, kind of like the culture that comes along with it. Can you tell us the steps taken by the military after a sexual assault has been reported? What is actually being done? Because like you said before, any increase is not a good increase.
Right. No, it's not. What I will say is I think the military is actually doing a good job doing everything they can to combat this. The first thing that happens when an allegation is made is that the military will dispatch its legal investigators out there to investigate the case. And let's not forget also that the allegation, the person who made the allegation, actually gets assigned an attorney. You will not see that in the civilian world. So they're already doing everything they can to make sure that their rights are protected as well. After the investigation is done, that is then given to the prosecutors. And as long as it meets the probable cause threshold, the prosecutors are going to take that case and give it to the command, right? That's the old way. Now, that's all going to change, but right now the command still makes the decision. Okay. Once the command decides what to do with it, it either goes to a trial or is handled another way. If it goes to a trial, then somebody like me comes in and defends the guy.
Got it. So since the cadets aren't technically in the military just yet, are these cases taken up in military court or are they in civilian court?
It's actually interesting. Believe it or not, people who attend West Point, Annapolis, and the Air Force Academy technically are service members. They fall under the UCMJ. So if there's an allegation made and it goes through that entire process that I just described, and you find yourself in a trial, it's most likely going to be a court-martial and not a civilian court. Got
it. Interesting. All right, Mickey, again, thank you for your service, and thank you, as always, for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.